Introduction to Mass Communications. Chapter 1, Communication. In this chapter, we'll discuss the definition of communication as well as the components and process of communication. Communication. The English word communication comes from the Latin word communicare, which means to impart, participate, or transmit information. The word communicare is derived from the Latin word communis, which refers to sharing or making common. Process of communication. Communication is 1. The activity or process of sharing or exchanging ideas, feelings, information, experience between two or more persons. 2. An act or instance of transmitting. Or 3. The information actually communicated by some means. Definitions of communication. The Oxford English Dictionary defines communication as the action of conveying or exchanging information and ideas. Alan Louis defines communication as communication is the sum of all the things one person does when he wants to create understanding in the mind of another. It involves a systematic process of telling, listening, understanding, and responding. Keith Davis defines communication as communication is the transfer of information and understanding from one person to another. The process of communication involves a series of stages. 1. The sender has an idea that he wishes to share with others. 2. The sender encrypts or encodes the idea in the form of a message. 3. The sender selects a medium/channel through which to deliver the message. 4. The receiver gets the message. 5. The receiver decodes the message, absorbing, understanding, and interpreting it. 6. The receiver responds with feedback or a response. The components or elements of the communication process are as follows. The sender or the communicator, the party with concepts or emotions to impart or relay. 2. The message, the cognitive or emotional impressions the sender intends to transmit. 3. Encoding, the process by which the sender articulates thoughts into a transmittable message. 4. The medium/channel, the means by which the message is transmitted, verbal, written, broadcasted, etc. 5. The receiver, the party in whose mind the sender wishes to replicate their concepts or emotions. 6. Decoding, the process by which the receiver interprets the message. 7. Feedback, the response to the message. 8. Noise, the barriers between sender and receiver against the message being received as the sender intended. The noise can be literal noise interference, circumstantial, or conceptual barriers in the communication process. The cycle of the components/elements of the communication process. The process of communication is a system with its output feeding the next round of the cycle. The sender has the concepts or feeling that they wish to impart, so they render those thoughts or feelings through encoding into a message, which they transfer to a medium, be it vocalization, print, or electronic signal, which is then transmitted to a receiver who then decodes the message, which, if successful, renders the message into a replica of the thoughts and emotions the sender wished to convey. The receiver will hopefully provide some kind of feedback to inform the sender whether their concepts or emotions were successfully conveyed to the receiver. A word about noise. Noise can appear in any part of the cycle, and we see many examples of it in our pop culture media. In fact, when framed as miscommunication or misunderstandings, it is often an essential aspect of the plot. Noise also serves as a main driver of story conflicts themselves, like in many episodes of situational or romantic comedies. In real life, however, noise is a lot less entertaining, be it a language barrier of the sender, encoding, or receiver, characteristics of the medium like poor signal reception, static, or biases in the receiver and decoding. The inability or disinclination to minimize noise can lead to miscommunication where the effort does not yield the desired results the sender intended. This concludes Lecture 1. Please join us for Lecture 2 as we explore the types of communications from the inner monologue and chronicles of the intrapersonal to the dialogue of the interpersonal, the balancing and interplay of group communication, and the vast reach of mass communications.